Your brain was never designed to worry this much. Today, many people lie awake at night replaying old conversations, imagining the worst case scenario, worrying about the future, and mentally exhausting themselves over things that may never happen. They think they are preparing, but most of the time they are only repeating the same fear again and again. Worrying can feel productive because your mind is active, but an active mind is not always a useful mind. Real problem solving leads to a clear action. Worrying often leads only to another loop. You think about the problem, then think about it again, then imagine more ways it could go wrong, but nothing actually changes. That is why worry is so tiring. It burns mental energy without moving your life forward. And the reason your brain worries so easily is because its main job is survival. A long time ago, the brain had to constantly scan the environment for danger. If there was a wild animal, a dangerous person, or a real threat nearby, noticing it quickly could save your life. So the brain became very good at looking for problems before they happened. But today, most of the things your brain reacts to are not life-threatening. They are emails, bills, exams, awkward conversations, health symptoms, money pressure, or someone's opinion about you. Your brain still uses the old survival system, but now it applies that system to modern problems. So when you overthink, it does not mean you are weak. It means your brain is trying to protect you. The problem is that it is using an old alarm system in a world where not every sound is danger. And another reason anxiety feels so strong is that many people are not only afraid of bad outcomes, they are afraid of not knowing what will happen. This is why the mind keeps asking, what if this goes wrong? What if I fail? What if they judge me? What if the future does not work out? The brain repeats these questions because uncertainty feels unsafe. It believes that if it keeps thinking long enough, it can somehow create certainty. But most of the time, overthinking does not give you control. It only makes you more tired. The truth is, you do not need to know every future result before you can live your life. You need to train your brain to handle not knowing. Peace does not come from controlling every possible outcome. Peace comes from learning that even when life is uncertain, you can still take the next step. The first practical step is to separate real problems from imaginary problems. One reason your mind feels exhausted is because your brain treats every thought like an emergency. But not every thought needs your attention right now. A real problem is something happening in the present that requires action. For example, a bill is due tomorrow, you missed a deadline, or you need to have an important conversation. An imaginary problem is a future scenario your brain creates without clear evidence. What if I fail? What if they hate me? What if my future is ruined? These thoughts feel real, but they are often just mental stories. This is called catastrophizing, when the brain jumps straight to the worst possible outcome. So when worry appears, ask yourself one simple question. Is this a problem I need to solve right now? Or is this a story my brain is imagining? If it is real, take one clear action. If it is imaginary, stop feeding it with more attention. Another important step is to stop trying to control everything. A lot of anxiety comes from trying to control things that were never fully in your control. What other people think, how every situation will end, the timing of your life, relationships, luck, and the future. The mind believes that if it can predict everything, rehearse every conversation, and prepare for every possible outcome, then nothing bad will happen. But this only creates more pressure. Life does not become peaceful when you control every detail. It becomes peaceful when you trust yourself to handle what happens. So instead of asking, how can I make sure nothing goes wrong? Ask, if something does go wrong, can I handle it? That question changes everything. Real confidence does not come from certainty. It comes from adaptability, from knowing that even when life does not go exactly as planned, you can still respond, adjust, and keep moving forward. Another step to calm your mind is to reduce mental overload. Today, your brain receives too much information from every direction: social media, bad news, comparisons, notifications, productivity pressure, and other people's opinions. Even when nothing bad is happening in your personal life, your mind can still feel stressed because it never gets quiet. It is like having too many tabs open in your head at the same time. The more information you take in, the louder your worries become. So start reducing unnecessary input. Do not begin your morning with social media chaos. Do not consume negative news all day. Do not fill every silent moment with videos, posts, or podcasts. Give your brain space to recover. Just like your muscles need rest after training, your nervous system needs quiet after too much stimulation. Sometimes peace does not come from solving more problems. It comes from giving your mind less noise to carry. Another powerful way to reduce anxiety is to take action. Worry becomes dangerous when it keeps you frozen. Many people wait until they feel confident before they move, but confidence often comes after movement, not before it. If you avoid something again and again, your brain starts to believe that thing is dangerous. The phone call feels scarier. The project feels bigger. The conversation feels impossible. But when you take even a small step, your brain begins to learn that the situation is not as threatening as it imagined. Send the message, make the call, start the project badly, go to the gym for 10 minutes, apply for the opportunity. Do one small, real thing instead of thinking about it for another hour. Action pulls your brain out of imaginary futures and brings it back into reality. The more you move, the smaller fear becomes. Another step is to train your brain to stay in the present moment. Anxiety usually lives in the future. It keeps asking, what if something goes wrong? Regret usually lives in the past. It keeps saying, why did I do that? But the present moment is often much quieter than the stories in your mind. One simple way to return to the present is sensory grounding. This means using your senses to reconnect with what is real right now. Notice the sounds around you. Feel your breath moving in and out. Feel your feet touching the floor. Look at the objects in the room. Pay attention to your hands, your posture, or the temperature of the air. These simple actions pull your mind out of imagined problems and back into physical reality. Activities like cooking, cleaning, drawing, gardening, walking, or exercising can also help because they give your brain something real to focus on. The more you practice returning to the present, the less power future worries have over you. Another important step is to stop treating every emotion like a crisis. Many people do not only worry about problems, they start worrying about the feelings themselves. They feel stress, a fast heartbeat, tension in the body, stomach discomfort, or mental fatigue, and immediately think, something is wrong with me. But emotions are not permanent identities. They are temporary body states. Anxiety, fear, stress, and tension are uncomfortable, but they are also normal biological reactions. The problem becomes bigger when you become afraid of the emotion itself. Then, you are not only anxious about the situation, you become anxious about being anxious. Instead of fighting the feeling aggressively, try saying, this feeling is uncomfortable, but it is temporary. That small sentence teaches your brain that the emotion is not an emergency. And when you stop feeding the feeling with fear, it often passes more quickly. Another way to reduce worry is to build a life that gives your mind less empty space to spiral. Worry often becomes strongest when life has no structure. Late at night, during lonely weekends, after hours of scrolling, or when you have no clear direction for the day. When the mind has nothing meaningful to focus on, it often starts creating problems to fill the silence. The solution is not to stay busy every second. That only creates more stress. The solution is to create a basic structure that supports your mental health. Sleep at regular times, move your body, eat better, talk to people who make you feel grounded, spend less time online, build hobbies, goals, routines, and meaningful work into your life. These habits may sound simple, but they protect your mind. A healthy routine gives your brain stability. And when your life has more movement, connection, rest, and purpose, worry has less room to take over. In the end, the goal is not to remove worry completely. Every human worries sometimes. The goal is to stop letting worry control the way you live. You do not need to become emotionless, and you do not need to feel certain before taking every step. If you wait for perfect certainty, you may spend your whole life waiting. Peace does not come from controlling the future. Peace comes from learning how to handle the present better. You can survive discomfort. You can face uncertainty. You can make mistakes and still recover. You can experience rejection and still keep moving. You can deal with imperfect outcomes and still build a meaningful life. And when your brain learns this through repeated experience, worry slowly loses its power. It may still appear, but it no longer gets to decide your life for you. In the end, stopping worry is not about becoming fearless or controlling every part of the future. It is about learning to live with more trust in yourself. Your mind may still create what if thoughts. It may still imagine problems. It may still feel uncomfortable with uncertainty. But now you know that every worry does not need to become your reality. You can separate real problems from imaginary ones. You can stop trying to control everything. You can reduce mental noise, take action, return to the present, and remind yourself that uncomfortable emotions are temporary. Peace is not built by waiting for life to become perfect. It is built by training your mind to handle life as it is. If this video helped you understand how to stop worrying and calm your mind, make sure to like this video so more people can find it. And if you want more practical videos about self-improvement, emotional control, mental clarity, anxiety relief, discipline, and simple habits that improve everyday life, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Remember, you do not need certainty to start living. You only need one calm step forward today.